We're going to go ahead and get started with the pre-meeting here. Thanks everybody for being here this morning. First on the agenda is approval of minutes, February 21st, 2022, 10 a.m. council meeting, February 28th, 2022, 4:45 p.m. special called council meeting, March 7th, 2022, 5:30 p.m. work session. Any questions on those? Approve February 2022 monthly bills. Any questions? All right, public hearings. Resolution 22056, approve request for off-premise beer and wine license for Miguel Angel Palomino, doing business as Tienda El Palomino LLC, located at 1416 6th Avenue Southeast, Suite A, Decatur, Alabama 35601. No changes. Any questions? Resolution 22057, accept proposal from Leisure Development Group for Point Mallard Master Plan.
No changes.
Okay, any questions? Resolution 22058, authorize mayor to negotiate sales contract with Holland Holdings LP for purchase of 34.2 acres to be used for ball fields and recreational facilities.
No changes.
Okay, any questions? Resolution 22059, rescind resolution 22035 and award bid number 22006 to the second lowest bidder, Standard Roofing, in the amount of $252,405. Okay, any questions? Resolution 22060, award bid number 22015 for alcohol service at Ingalls Pavilion to JW Steakhouse. All right, any questions? Resolution 22061, award bid number 22018 for plumbing services to George Plumbing. Okay, any questions? Resolution 22062, Pewright McAnally Incorporated, agreement for Red Bank Road, ALDOT project number ST052999014. Okay, any questions? Resolution 22063, change order number 4, Rogers Group, Bibb Garrett interchange water line work. Any questions? All right, resolution 22064, approve Garver Engineering Amendment, Church Street between Riverview Avenue and Somerville Road, ALDOT STPOA 5220. All right, any questions? Resolution 22065, approve Garver LLC agreement, utility relocation, Church Street between Riverview Avenue and Somerville Road, ALDOT STPOA 5220252. Any questions? Resolution 22066, approve purchase of one Southland garbage truck, Sansom 24-yard for solid waste. All right, any questions? Resolution 22067, approve purchase of one Southland loader truck for solid waste. Okay, any questions? All right, ordinance is first reading, declare surplus and sell 408 4th Avenue Southwest under the Dawn program.
There's no changes, but as we did previously a couple of weeks ago with the Dawn program, they have already paid for this, so if you would consider a double vote so we can move forward with it. This would be great. If not, we'll wait till the next.
Okay, thanks, Alan. Any questions? All right, ordinances. Ordinance number 224502, approve sale of current Fire Station 5 property.
Other than just an updated offer for somebody else, this is what the council decided and introduced, so that's where we are. So there's no change in the ordinance.
Okay. Any questions? All right, reappoint Darius Creighton to the Personnel Board with term expiring December 31st, 2026. This will be Mr. Creighton's second full term. Okay, any questions? And appointment update of Larry Hall to the Pryorfield Airport Authority with term expiring February 28th, 2027, an at-large member. Okay, any questions? All right, we'll get started at 10 o'clock. Thanks. Call the meeting to order. Chief Thornton will lead us in our invocation and pledge.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, thank you for this day and thank you for all the many blessings. And we're just so happy and proud to see the beautiful sunshine that we've had and what a blessing it is for us, dear Lord. Just ask you to, at this time, just bless the members of our council and our leadership of our city to give them the knowledge and wisdom to make the best decisions they can for this city and to help keeping us move forward in a positive directions. These things we ask in your name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chief. Roll call.
Ladner.
Here.
McMaster.
Here.
Jackson. Pike.
Here.
Pepper.
Here. All right, before we get started, the mayor has a couple of things he would like to share with us.
Mr. Dillon, you and Mr. Oscar. So these two members of our environmental department, we have Dylan Bowler, did I say that correctly?
Yes.
All right. And then Oscar Hasso.
Yes, sir.
We're out one day and they were working a route and they noticed that one of our residents had fallen and he was not breathing. And y'all started you called 911 and started offering aid to him as instructed by 911 and until our folks were able to arrive and start doing what they do. And it's said that because of your quick efforts that it likely saved his life. And so we want to recognize you today for that, for what you did. And so I'm going to read just this letter of appreciation. Whereas appreciation and citations are in order for Oscar and Dylan for assisting a resident who had collapsed in his yard, and whereas their willingness to go out of their way to help a total stranger while going about the daily course of their jobs reveals a value and respect for our citizens that exemplifies the highest of ideals. And whereas this act of care and concern deserves special recognition by the governing body of this city. Now therefore I, Tab Bolin, as the mayor of the city of Decatur, and on behalf of the city council, hereby extend our sincere appreciation for your selfless act and service to our city. And so, Oscar, this will be for you, babe, and if you'll look at Miss Emmy there and give your best smile.
1, 2, 3. Everybody look at me. Dylan. There we go. Thank y'all.
All
Awesome.
right. Let's
Appreciate
see, let's get one here for Amy, let's get one for Dylan. All right.
Thank y'all so much. 1, 2, 3.
All right. Then I've got another one, a proclamation that I want to read that came really as a recommendation from former Mayor Lynn Fowler. Goodness, from the neck up, he's still as fit as ever, if not stronger. And he has a heart for people. And so with that, he asked if we would consider doing something for the people of Ukraine, and this is what we have. Whereas following the collapse of the Soviet Union, the Ukrainian people overwhelmingly voted to form a nation independent from Russia, building a democracy and thriving country grounded in the rule of law. And whereas President Putin has now launched an unjust and unwarranted invasion upon the peaceful nation of Ukraine, and whereas Ukraine is an honorable nation under siege, and whereas the attack of one democracy is an attack, all democracies are under attack. Now therefore be it proclaimed that I, Tab Bolin, Mayor of the City of Decatur, Alabama, and the City Council encourage all residents to fly the American flag daily at their homes and businesses to show our support for the people of Ukraine.
Thank you, Mayor, and thanks to Mayor Fowler for that recommendation. All right, we will move into public comment, and I have one person signed in to speak, Mr. Underwood. We'll do our typical 3 minutes. Do what?
I got a flash drive with some photos.
Can we get a flash drive in? Is Brad in here anywhere?
I was doing some spring cleaning, and I got a gift for everybody. If you'll pass it down, it's a pin. If you guys would like to, vintage.
Pat, we can try to get the photos on. Brad, can we get a TV on? Are the TVs on?
No worries if
We
you guys
typically
have all seen the
previous,
photos.
yeah.
You guys have all seen the photos. It's really just for the public record. Yeah. So I was doing some spring cleaning, as many are doing, and I found these pins in my dad's one of my dad's old boxes. Also found that old school there, Alabama litter laws. So we outsource our most precious of social services, picking up our injured and dying. You guys all know the shakeup with First Response and Decatur Morgan. And so I speak today on behalf of concerned citizens that every couple years, I think we need to kind of talk about our trash protocols, our trash pickup, and we've got some people that are out there on the back end, maybe the Beltline litter crew or the Parks and Rec litter crew, Osprey Initiative. They're out in the ditches and the creeks. I'm asking today, what's the first line of defense for escaped trash? It seems that we, as city services, we're providing and endorsing escaped trash by allowing trash piles. So I think it's time that we talk about outsourcing our trash pickup, just like we outsource our ambulance service. Maybe an audit of how much money we're really spending on new trash trucks and how much of the system is being taken advantage of. Maybe an eviction, like I posted about last week, or an empty lot that the next block over dumped on the adjacent alleyway, or even maybe dumping that can be seen from Wilson Morgan track, like literally walking on the track and you can see a trash pile. So I think we've kind of enabled our citizens to continue to take advantage of the system. I think it's time that we really look at maybe having a regulatory board for trash haulers. We let the citizens decide if they want to pay a private carter or if they want to take their trash to Central Parkway and drop it off there or take it to the landfill. I think the tipping fees may be an issue for some people. Maybe people that are being evicted can't pay their rent, so they probably can't take their trash to the landfill. So given the citizens an option, maybe at Central Parkway, to just take a big truckload of stuff, just like we do chemical drop-off day, maybe it's time to give the citizens an express lane to dump those piles where we want them to dump them rather than just wild, wild west. Last thing I'll say is basically we've got a system where the citizens have to call on their neighbors to community development when maybe they're remodeling their house. Citizens have to call the police when they see somebody illegally dumping, rather than maybe code enforcement officers seeing a pile like this and following through on really prosecuting and enforcing the laws that are state laws and ordinances that are city laws. I know state laws trump city ordinances. That's what I've been told. And we have to follow the due process of the law. Next slide. This is an example of after city services have picked it up. So you can see that probably in a matter of a couple weeks, there could be a pile right back there. Next slide. Here are examples of the alleyway is clearly blocked, and you can see Street Environmental Services is going around and around. This pile did get picked up. But again, the city is spending real money to pick up these piles. And just because there's a DU account on file doesn't mean that we're really recouping what we're spending on these trash piles.
Hey, Pat,
Yes,
just
sir.
a question. If we had privatized garbage pickup,
Yeah.
how does it fix that?
Code enforcement would
So that has nothing to do with, that's a different issue is what you're saying.
say that again.
That's a different issue. Privatizing garbage pickup, you're still gonna have, that's really a separate issue.
Well, I think if we privatize it, the citizens have to know that the city's not going to come pick it up anymore,
Yeah.
and that code enforcement, community development, and a code enforcement officer or a police officer will be there with a red tag sign. A yellow tag sign. We have a red tag sign system for tall grass. We enforce tall grass violations. The city doesn't have a lawn care service that they provide for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we all, well, I can only speak for me. I agree with everything you're saying. Seeing piles like that and the other ones you share and point out, they're awful.
Yeah.
And I think it's pitiful that people do that. And I wish people took more pride in their property and their city than to do that.
Yes, sir.
I think some of the problem we run into, I agree, anytime we can know who the person is that's dumping it illegally, by all means, we ought to exercise every ordinance we've got on the books to,
Yes, sir.
but the problem, as you know, and I think we've had this conversation, is when you don't know who did it.
Well,
And
this
that-
pile is
this one
yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
but sometimes
thank
we
you, sir.
don't know
Yeah.
who dumped it, and that can provide an issue, I think. But generally, I think we all are would look like you for better ways to clean up the city. One thing you mentioned is maybe a central spot to have large. I think a day like we do for garbage pickup, where you can know that your large items are going to be picked up on that particular day, even if it's every couple of weeks, so that people aren't just sitting them out on the road for
Yes, sir.
weeks and weeks at a time. Things like that, I think, are things that we need to discuss. But the challenge, from what I've seen and talking to others in community development and others, is just if you don't know who dumped it, it can be difficult. And we've got to go pick it up. I mean, I know the kindergarten reference you use, but we
It's
can't
simple.
just leave it sitting there,
Yeah.
and so.
So if they do have a DU account, we are collecting the trash, and so
Can we raise the rate?
I don't know about that. But,
We raise the rate for sewage overflows.
So anyway, what we're gonna do is try to do a better job of getting there in a timely manner.
Yeah, it's
A landlord can't remove the property belongings that, as a result of an eviction, as I understand it, for 14 days. But we can if they have an account with DU.
I think we need more enforcement. I think that if we're, thank you for the time.
We hear you, man. I appreciate you having a passion like you do. There are some challenges, as you know, but we'll continue to try to get better in that area.
Yeah,
So
thank you all for your time.
thanks, Pat. And thanks for the pen, man. That's awesome. Tell your dad thanks.
Thank you.
All right. All right, we'll move into the agenda now. Do we need to give his flash drive, or did he get it? Okay. Did you get your flash drive? Here. All right. Anybody have any issue taking these all together? Okay. We'll take them separately. First, just B. Okay, so we'll do A and C first, if that's okay. February 21st, 2022, 10 a.m. council meeting, and March 7th, 2022, 5:30 p.m. work session.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMaster.
Aye.
Jackson. Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Those minutes are approved 5-0. And next is February 28th, 2022, 4:45 p.m. special call council meeting.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMaster.
Aye.
Jackson. Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Those minutes are approved 4-0 with one abstention. Next, we have approval of monthly bills. Approved February 2022 monthly bills.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMaster.
Aye.
Jackson. Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye. Monthly bills are approved 5-0. Next, we have public hearings. Resolution number 22056, approve request for off-premise beer and wine license for Miguel Angel Palomino, doing business as Tienda El Palomino LLC, located at 1416 6th Avenue Southeast, Suite A, Decatur, Alabama 35601. Lori?
This is a change in ownership for the grocery store, not the actual restaurant, and they have satisfied all the requirements.
Okay, this is a public hearing, so if there's anyone here to speak on this item, you can speak now. All right, seeing no one here to speak, we'll consider the public hearing closed.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. McMasters.
Second.
Second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMaster.
Aye.
Jackson. Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Resolution 22056 is approved 5-0. Next is resolution number 22057, accept proposal from Leisure Development Group for Point Millard Master Plan. Jason?
Good morning, Council, Mayor. This resolution is to accept the Leisure Development Group as the group that will do the Point Millard plan. We're excited about that, and we ask you to accept it.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion?
Jason, do you mind just kind of going over a little bit who Leisure Development is and what they do as a whole?
Sure. Leisure Development Group, what they do is they work with people, they work with the architects, as well as the people that are the stakeholders in the, whatever, in this case, Point Millard. So they'll have meetings with the community. They'll do a deep dive into what we've done there, what other people have done in locations similar to that. And you know, one of the things, and I've told a lot of people this through the last few months, is I have 4 different master plans for Point Millard in my office right now. That I really always felt like the reason it was that way was it was 1 or 2 people's vision for what that was. What I thought was important this time was to create a vision that was more broad, that included more people, to create support and know it's something that everybody's going to like. If you're a walker, a bike rider, a swimmer, a tennis player, whatever it is, they all need to be represented so we can come up with a good plan to make sure that the next 50 years was as good as the first 50 years.
Thank you.
All right, any other discussion or questions? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMaster.
Aye.
Jackson. Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Resolution 22057 is approved 5-0. Next is resolution number 22058, authorize mayor to negotiate sales contract with Holland Holdings LP for purchase of 34.2 acres to be used for ball fields and recreational facilities.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. McMasters, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have a couple of things. I think I've made it clear that I won't support this tonight. I think I need to reiterate basically some of the reasons as to why I have concerns about this. First and foremost, I think that we looked at one site. That was it.
Well, that's wrong.
Okay, what else did we look at?
Looked at sites on Spring and Central.
Okay, when you presented, you already had blueprints of the ball fields and everything else and the layout before we even had decided that that was a site that we were going to look at.
Yes, sir. I asked Mr. Lake if he would kind of put together how he would, so we could talk with the property owner.
So from a public perspective and from my perspective, basically, because I was not brought in on this, that we looked at one site. And that's concerning to a lot of people.
That's not accurate.
Okay, well, that was what was presented. And only one site was presented.
Okay.
And traffic is a huge issue in that area already. And we discussed that it's important that we look at the traffic from where we are right now. And to add this to it is only going to compound that. And in the last administration, we added a traffic light at Austin High School because of accidents to students there. This is only gonna make it worse. So until we have infrastructure in place, and until we have a study or something to look at the widening of the road and the traffic count in that area and how we would deal with that, then I think we're sort of dealing with this prematurely. And thirdly, I guess not, but last but not without consideration, is that it appears that Mr. Holland contributed to campaigns of some of our elected officials here. I think that creates a situation for a lot of people that says that this, along with blueprints that were already done, this is already a done deal.
I'm gonna be clear in saying that Mr. Holland didn't contribute to my campaign.
Okay, all right. That was my understanding, but,
Well, you talk about understandings, Mr. Jackson, but you need to be able to support these things with facts.
okay, and that's why I said it was my understanding.
Okay.
I didn't say that it was factual.
But he's over here writing it down, and that gets,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, that was my
you know that.
understanding. But I think that, and I guess last, we're giving do we have an appraisal on this, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, so we're basically agreeing to a price and we don't have a value for the property. Is that correct?
I don't know if you are or not.
Okay. If this council passes this, then we're agreeing to something that we don't actually know the value of that property. Would that be accurate?
I can tell you that there's property across the street that is going for more than this.
Okay, but this property in particular, we don't know the appraised value.
Well, Mr. Jackson, whenever they do appraisals, they do those based on comparisons, right?
I know that they do comps,
Okay.
but specifically this property, we don't have an appraised value.
No, sir.
My only question, I'm sorry, you finished, Mr. Jackson?
At this point, yeah.
My only question, Herman, can you just, and I know I asked this last week, but I don't know that I'm fully clear on it. This is not us purchasing the property, correct?
It just authorizes the mayor to come back with a sales agreement based
An
on these
actual
figures.
sales contract, okay.
Yes, and y'all approve that. There's no offer made until the council approves it.
Okay.
But when the resolution says that we were going to go up to a certain point, do we really expect it to come back lower than that? It's rhetorical.
Well, this is the value that you authorized the mayor earlier to go negotiate and get a price, and that's what he's done.
And then the further negotiation would be anything else to do with the property.
Right.
Okay. All right, any other discussion? All right, roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
No.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Resolution 22058 is approved 4-1. Resolution 22059, rescind resolution 22035 and award bid number 22006 to the second lowest bidder, Standard Roofing, in the amount of $252,405. Charles?
Yes, Council President, Mayor, and Council, I'm Charles Booth, the purchasing agent for the city. The lowest bidder informed us after award that he was not going to be able to make a timely progress on this project, so we're rescinding previous resolution and awarding the second lowest bidder.
All right.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Mr. McMasters, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Resolution 22059 is approved 5-0, and thanks for bringing that to us a couple weeks ago because we need to get that done, so thanks. Resolution 22060, award bid number 22015 for alcohol services at Ingles Pavilion to JW Steakhouse.
Yes, sir, this is one of our standing bids that expired and required a rebid, and JW was the only respondent.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Mr. McMasters, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion?
Charles, do we have any knowledge as to why JW will be the only responder in this situation?
Well, we had two come to the mandatory pre-bid, but I only got one response. It involves a lot of costs for that vendor, such as security guards, a lot of licenses.
Yeah, I think JW does a good job, but I'd love to have a Decatur, his price for, right?
Yes, sir.
But if there's only one bid. All right, any other discussion? Roll call?
Wagner.
Aye.
McMaster.
Aye.
Jackson. Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Resolution 22060 is approved 5-0. Resolution 22061, award bid number 22018 for plumbing services to George Plumbing.
Yes, sir, another standing bid that required a rebid. We got 2 responses here, and George was the lowest.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. McMasters. Second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call?
Ladner.
Aye.
McMaster.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Resolution 22061 is approved 5-0. Next is Resolution 22062, Pewright McAnally Incorporated Agreement for Red Bank Road, AlDOT Project Number ST052999014.
Yes, Mayor Council, this is, to go into the agreement with Pewright McAnally to do the CE&I for a Red Bank Road project.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Mr. McMasters, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call?
Ladner.
Aye.
McMaster.
Aye.
Jackson. Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Resolution 22062 is approved 5-0. Next is Resolution 22063, change order number 4, Rogers Group, Bibb Garrett Interchange, water line work.
Yeah, this is a change order to install a water service out on a Bibb Garrett project for 2 homes that are back on the south side of the Fraser property. We didn't realize where that water service came from with the original design, so this is a change order and add to that contract.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Mr. McMasters, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call?
Ladner.
Aye.
McMaster.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Resolution 22063 is approved 5-0. Resolution 22064, approved Garver Engineering Amendment, Church Street between Riverview Avenue and Somerville Road, AlDOT STPOA 5220.
This is an amendment to our agreement with Garver to do a water line relocation design. This will be the fees to do that design work in conjunction with our Church Street MPO project.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call?
Ladner.
Aye.
McMaster.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Resolution 22064 is approved 5-0. Resolution 22065, approved Garver LLC agreement, utility relocation, Church Street between Riverview Avenue and Somerville Road, AlDOT STPOA 5220252.
This is basically the same thing as the last resolution. This one just happens to be an AlDOT form and agreement that they require because it's an MPO project. Has nothing to do with money. It's just a matter, it's a formality of form for this type of project.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. McMasters, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call?
Ladner.
Aye.
McMaster.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Resolution 22065 is approved 5-0. Next is Resolution 22066, approved purchase of 1 Southland garbage truck, Sansom 24-yard for solid waste.
Morning, Mayor and Council. This is state contract number 07208-115. This garbage truck will be out of our designated fund dollar a month fee.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. McMasters, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion?
When expected delivery again, Daniel?
They're saying the earliest would be 6 months.
Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call?
Ladner.
Aye.
McMaster.
Aye.
Jackson. Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Resolution 22066 is approved 5-0. Next is Resolution 22067, approved purchase of 1 Southland loader truck for solid waste.
So this loader truck's also under the state contract. The funding source for this will be our alley fee designation.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call?
Ladner.
Aye.
McMaster.
Aye.
Jackson. Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Resolution 22067 is approved 5-0. Next, we have ordinances first reading, declare surplus and sell 408 4th Avenue Southwest under the Dawn program.
Yes, we've had an adjacent property owner to the 408 has approached us about purchasing this property under the DAWN program. So we just asked that you move forward with the selling of this property.
I'd like to make a motion for immediate consideration.
All right, we have a motion for immediate consideration by Mr. Pepper.
I'll second.
We have a second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
All right, immediate consideration is approved 5-0. Do we have a motion for the ordinance?
So
Motion by Mr. Pepper, second by Mr. McMasters. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson. Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
And that is approved with a vote of 5-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alan. Ordinances, ordinance number 224502, approve sale of current Fire Station 5 property.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMasters, second by Mr. Pepper. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
No.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
Ordinance 224502 is approved 4-1. Boards and committees, reappoint Darius Creighton to the Personnel Board with term expiring December 31st, 2026. This will be Mr. Creighton's second full term.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMaster, second by Mr. Pepper. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
That reappointment is approved 5-0. Next, we have appointment update of Larry Hall to the Pryorfield Airport Authority with term expiring February 28th, 2027, at-large member.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McMasters, second by Mr. Pike. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ladner.
Aye.
McMasters.
Aye.
Jackson. Pike.
Aye.
Pepper.
Aye.
That appointment is approved 5-0. Next council work session will be held on March 28th, 2022 at 5 p.m. Next regular council meeting will be held on April 4th, 2022 at 6 p.m. Anything else from directors? I'll get to that at the end. Mayor, anything else from council?
Where are we on the, last year, Karen Matthews swimming pool didn't open for lifeguards. Where are we on that now, Jason?
You mean how many guards have we hired?
I mean, where are we as far as the opening? That's what I'm concerned.
We plan to open it now. One of the things that we won't know on lifeguards until we get closer to May. One of the things that may be a help for me compared to last year would be, I did it in a way that I thought was the safest way to do it with the help that we had. Maybe I need some guidance as to how the council or mayor would like for me to do that, if it's any different than I did it last year.
What do you mean? I'm sorry. What do you mean safest
Well,
way?
we didn't open Kerry Matthews, and we opened Aquadome, which we were able to open Aquadome because the swim team more or less stepped in and said, you know, we've got some folks that we can train that can try to help keep that open. Now, I hope we're not in the same boat, but as far as apps go, we're almost step in step with where we were last year. So.
Which is poor.
Which is not what we would want, correct? So, and I'm not saying we have to have those answers today, but I'm saying we need to start thinking about it.
Is there a way they could float, Jason? Like, take some of them that are for Point Mallard, and they could be at Aquadome or Carrie
That's what we
Matthews?
do.
That's what you do, okay.
Okay. Thanks, Mr. Jackson. Jason, anything else from council? I think last week we talked about police chief and kind of the process, and I said 2 weeks from last Monday. If we could, if does anybody have any issue with getting names to Stephanie or Rochelle by Friday of this week? If we could get those names of who you want to interview for police chief by Friday to Stephanie or Rochelle, let's try to do that so we can discuss the process going forward on Monday. All right, anything else? All right, we'll stay adjourned.